This is a cement structure near the bay in Texas. The cement fins, ribs on the inside are interesting. What was their function? The commenter imagines that the concrete was poured around a central shape that wasn't supposed to come out. This is likely the foundation for a large lamppost, a navigational beacon, or a sign. The central part, which is now gone, would have been the main steel or wooden post. The concrete fins or ribs would have been part of a prefabricated form or a reinforcing structure that was set in the ground before the main concrete foundation was poured around it. This would create a very strong and stable base, deeply anchored to support a tall, heavy structure. This is a necklace with a black forked twig branch. The finder assumes it has some meaning behind it. Anyone have any ideas? The black forked twig is a piece of black coral. Black coral is a type of deep water coral that has a black chitinous skeleton. When polished, it can be used to make beautiful and unique jewelry. A small, naturally shaped branch like this one is often used as a pendant, showcasing its natural form. In some cultures, black coral is believed to have protective or healing properties, which might be the meaning the finder is sensing. It is a beautiful piece of natural jewelry. I found this stickied under my desk in my office. Any ideas? Was my office bugged? It is probably some type of one of these, an annoying sound prank device. This is a small, battery-powered electronic device that is designed to be hidden in a room. It periodically emits a short, high-pitched and annoying sound, like a beep or a cricket chirp. The sounds are often infrequent and hard to locate, designed to slowly drive the victim of the prank crazy. It is not a listening device or a bug, but rather a classic and maddening office prank. Weird pelican. I came across this pelican floating around with what seems to be an object in its bill. It could be a piece of wood. Any ideas? That looks like a fishtail. Pelicans have a large throat pouch that they use to scoop up fish. After catching a fish, they will often manipulate it in their bill to swallow it head first. You can see the shape of the rest of the fish in the pelican's neck pouch. This pelican has likely just caught a large fish and is in the process of positioning it for swallowing. It is a great snapshot of natural behavior. What is this art installation? My wife and I saw this odd thing being hauled on I-78W in Pennsylvania. The one side has a very large screen on it. This is a traveling art exhibition sponsored by Samsung to promote Hangul, the Korean alphabet. The installation, created by the Korean artist Kyu-ha Lee, consists of a digital art piece that combines elements of the Hangul script with modern digital imagery, displayed on the large Samsung screen. The entire exhibition is built into a custom trailer, allowing it to be transported and displayed in various cities as part of a cultural outreach program. It's a unique fusion of traditional calligraphy and modern technology. What are these big ice cube things, and why are there so many? Wrapped hay bales. These are not ice cubes, but large, round bales of hay or silage that have been tightly wrapped in multiple layers of white plastic. This process is called baleage. The plastic wrapping seals the hay, which is often baled at a higher moisture content, and allows it to ferment, similar to how silage is made. This preserves the nutritional quality of the forage for livestock to eat during the winter. The white plastic reflects sunlight and keeps the bales cool. You see them in fields after the hay has been cut and baled. This is a primitive wood antique, a possible farm implement found in an Indiana farmhouse. No one is sure what it is. This is part of an end vise for a woodworking workbench. An end vise is a clamping mechanism built into the end of a workbench, used for holding pieces of wood while working on them. The commenter notes a tradition where a master carpenter would gift 2 of these wooden vise screws to his apprentices when they became journeymen, as they were the hardest parts to make. The journeymen would then build their own workbench and incorporate these screws to create their end vise. It is a key component of a traditional European-style workbench. Got this from one of those places that lets you buy returned items. It's 3D printed, so it could be anything. There are 8 plastic bits, as well as some screws. As the commenter notes, because it's 3D printed, it could basically be anything. This is likely a part of a hobbyist's project, a custom-designed bracket or enclosure for an electronics project, a component for another 3D printer, or a part for a drone that was printed and then returned. Without knowing what other items were in the return package or finding the 3D model of the part online, for example on a site like Thingiverse, its specific purpose is nearly impossible to determine. It is a custom-made object for an unknown application. Found under my downspouts in northern IL. Pretty sure it's still alive, though it's not moving. I've never seen anything like this before. This is a giant leopard moth caterpillar. It is also sometimes known as a woolly bear caterpillar, although it is a different species from the more common banded woolly bear. These large, black, fuzzy caterpillars are covered in stiff bristles. When they are disturbed or feel threatened, they will often curl up into a tight ball and play dead, which is what this one is likely doing. The caterpillar will eventually form a cocoon and emerge as a beautiful, large, white moth with distinctive black spots, the giant leopard moth. Sorting through my baking cupboard and found this. It's about 16 inches in diameter and non-stick. What is it? After some searching, the finder solved it themselves. This is a Chicago metallic pie drip catcher. It's a very practical piece of bakeware. You place your pie on it before putting it in the oven. The purpose of this pan is to catch any drips from the pie filling that might boil over as it bakes. The hole in the middle allows for even heat circulation around the pie. It keeps your oven clean and prevents the sugary filling from burning onto the oven floor, which can be very difficult to clean and can create a lot of smoke. More like, what are these women wearing and what does it represent? My mom and I found these photos going through things. She's thinking this would be around the 1920s or 30s. These are old nurses' uniforms. As the commenter notes, you see a lot of these outfits in wartime photos. The distinctive white aprons, the bibs, and the often elaborate starched caps or veils were all standard parts of a professional nurse's uniform from the early to the mid-20th century. The specific style of the cap and the uniform could even be used by historians to identify the specific nursing school, hospital, or military service, like the Red Cross or the Army Nurse Corps, that the women belonged to. A sensor for what? I found 3 of these in my car and don't know what they are. These are polarized photoelectric sensors, likely used in an industrial automation setting. They work by emitting a beam of polarized light. A special reflector bounces the light back to the sensor. The sensor is designed to only detect the light that is reflected back with the same polarization, which makes it very reliable and less prone to being fooled by shiny objects. They are used on conveyor belts to count cartons or to detect the presence of an object. How they ended up in a car is a mystery, but they are an industrial sensor. What is this baby item? Trying to get organized for a new baby to arrive. What is this contraption? You put it over a faucet. It is a faucet extender for a baby or a toddler. Young children are often not tall enough to reach the stream of water coming out of a standard bathroom sink faucet, even when standing on a step stool. This simple plastic device slides over the end of the faucet. It creates a small channel that extends the flow of water forward, bringing it closer to the front of the sink and making it much easier for little hands to reach the water for washing. I just bought a new car, and this was on the bottom part of the dash. It has a switch on the back. The light is solid when the switch is up, but beeps when switched down. It also turns off when the car is on. What is it? This looks like some type of driving monitoring telemetry device. These are often used by insurance companies for usage-based insurance programs, which track your driving habits to determine your premium, or by fleet management companies to monitor company vehicles. It could also be a third-party GPS tracker or an anti-theft device installed by a previous owner. The switch might be for putting it into a different mode or turning it off. You might want to have it professionally removed if you don't know its exact purpose. Does anyone know what this logo is? I love this jacket and want another. That is the logo for the brand Yogalicious. Yogalicious is a popular brand of activewear, known for its comfortable and affordable leggings, sports bras, and jackets, very similar in style to brands like Lululemon. They are widely sold online and in stores like TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Now that you know the brand name, you should be able to find another jacket. This large container is being transported on the back of a truck in Boston, MA. Google suggested it was a cask for nuclear waste, but it doesn't really look like that. What is it? This is a sewer jetter truck. The large container is a tank that holds a large volume of water. The truck is also equipped with a very high-pressure pump and a long reel of hose. It is a piece of municipal or commercial plumbing equipment. The high-pressure hose is fed into a sewer line. Water is then pumped at extremely high pressure through a specialized nozzle, which blasts away grease, roots, and other blockages, thoroughly cleaning the sewer pipe. The reel of hose and pump controls are covered inside the main body. I found this in my thrift jacket. It says 1980. Is this 1980 Chinese printed yin hang? How old exactly is this note? Well, to answer your question of how old it is as old as 1980. This is a Chinese banknote from the 4th series of the renminbi, which was introduced in the 1980s. The specific note is likely a 1, 2, or 5 jiao note, which are the smaller denominations. While no longer in common circulation, these notes are not particularly rare or valuable to collectors, but it is a very cool and authentic find to discover in the pocket of a thrifted jacket, a small piece of history from 1980s China. Name of part? I have a small crack in the solid white plastic part above my shower head, but I have no idea what the name of this part is to get a replacement. It's a 90-degree hose elbow with a barbed fitting. This is a common plumbing fitting used to connect a flexible hose to a threaded pipe at a right angle. The threaded part would screw into the main water supply pipe in the wall. The flexible hose from the shower head would then be pushed over the barbed end of the fitting and secured with a clamp. You will need to take the broken piece to a hardware store to get a replacement of the correct size for both the thread and the hose diameter. Did the batteries explode? It's unlikely they exploded, but they have definitely leaked. The white crystalline substance you see is potassium carbonate, which is the result of the alkaline electrolyte from the batteries leaking out and reacting with carbon dioxide in the air. This leakage is very corrosive, and as the commenter notes, there's a good chance that it has damaged the electronic circuit board inside the device. You should wear rubber gloves while cleaning it up, as the electrolyte is caustic. This is on the ceiling in my bedroom. I never gave it much thought. Anyone know what it is? It's a flame sensor, which is part of a fire detection system. Unlike a standard smoke detector, which detects smoke particles, a flame sensor is designed to detect the presence of flames by responding to the specific infrared, IR, or ultraviolet, UV, radiation that flames emit. They are often used in industrial settings or in specific applications where a fast-flaming fire is a risk, but their presence in a bedroom suggests a more advanced or specialized fire alarm system is installed in the building. This metal bar is sticking out of the ground next to my house. I keep digging and pulling, but it barely moves. What is it? Does it need to be there? Yes, it absolutely needs to be there. This is a ground rod for your house's electrical system. It is a long copper or copper-clad steel rod, typically 8 feet in length, that has been driven deep into the earth. A heavy-gauge copper wire, called the grounding electrode conductor, connects this rod to your main electrical panel. Its crucial safety purpose is to provide a safe path for electricity to dissipate into the ground in the event of a lightning strike or a major electrical fault. Do not remove or disturb it.
Тепер, коли ми виправили помилку, ось правильна партія з 50 скриптів, починаючи з No. 1947.
This is a hold my dog post, a light duty winch, a tiny multi-flagpole, spotted in Highland Park, Los Angeles. This is a bike service station. These are public amenities, often installed in parks, near trailheads, or in bike-friendly urban areas. The 2 arms at the top are for hanging a bicycle by its seat or frame, lifting it off the ground to a comfortable working height. The various tools that would be attached by cables, some may be missing or broken on this one, typically include Allen keys, screwdrivers, and wrenches for making simple adjustments and repairs. There would also usually be an air pump for inflating tires. It's a handy pit stop for cyclists. Found in my car. I probably knew what it was at one point, but wherein I have no clue. It doesn't look like it has the jagged edges of something broken. This is for repairing a stethoscope. It is a chess piece key, specifically for an ADC AdScope Sprague-style stethoscope. A Sprague-Rappaport-type stethoscope has a double-sided chess piece with a diaphragm on each side that can be rotated. This small, wrench-like tool is used to unscrew the diaphragm retaining ring, allowing a doctor, nurse, or paramedic to replace a damaged diaphragm or to switch out the chest piece bells. It's a specialized maintenance tool for a very specific type of medical instrument. Cleaning out the closet? Any guesses? I was cleaning out my husband's camping gear. This is the Babyliss instrument by Cleaning Curl's Hair Curl Secret. Despite its discovery with camping gear, this is a beauty tool. It is the cleaning tool for a specific type of automatic hair curler called the Curl Secret. This appliance automatically draws a section of hair into a heated chamber to form a curl. Over time, hairspray and other product residue can build up inside this chamber. This tool is designed to be inserted into the curling chamber to scrape out and clean that residue, ensuring the appliance continues to function properly. This bolt was found in the parking lot of a marina. What is it from? This looks like the bolt or pin that goes through the end of a sailboat shackle. A shackle is a U-shaped metal fitting with a removable pin or bolt, used to connect ropes, chains, and other rigging components on a sailboat. This threaded bolt would be screwed through the two eyes of the shackle to close it securely. It is a very common and fundamental piece of marine hardware. It could have easily been dropped in the parking lot while someone was working on their boat's rigging or preparing their boat for transport. What is this tool for? A coworker gave it to me, and I have no clue. This looks like a metal hole punch, and the commenter has used them in their jewelry making class. It is a type of plier-like tool used to punch clean, precise holes in thin sheets of metal. It works much like a standard paper hole punch, but is built to be much stronger and is designed for use with soft metals like copper, brass, or silver. Jewelers and metal crafters use it to create holes for making rivets, for attaching jump rings to connect different components, or for creating decorative patterns. Found hanging around an old San Francisco pier building tucked into the bars. Thoughts? It's a reproduction of a stencil by the famous and enigmatic street artist Banksy. If you Google Jackhammer Rat Banksy, you will see the original artwork. This piece, which depicts a rat with a jackhammer, is one of Banksy's many iconic and often satirical images that have appeared on walls around the world. This is likely a piece of fan art or a reproduction that someone has made and placed in a public space as an homage to the artist, or perhaps it was merchandise from a Banksy exhibition. Found underneath my car seat. What is this small light? This is a mini LED, likely a component that has fallen out of some small electronic device. It could be an indicator light that has broken off a car charger, a dash cam, or another accessory that was plugged into the car's power outlet. It could also be from a small keychain flashlight, a toy, or even a piece of clothing or a greeting card that had decorative lights. It is just the light-emitting diode itself, which has become detached from its original circuit board and power source. Got this pin in a package I received from eBay as a freebie. I was wondering what it's from, organization, church, etc. Google says this is a replica of a prosecutor's pin from the popular video game series, Ace Attorney. In the game, which is a visual novel adventure, the characters in the legal system wear specific lapel pins to denote their profession. This pin is a replica of the one worn by the rival prosecutors that the main character, Phoenix Wright, faces in court. It's a piece of merchandise or fan-made item related to that beloved game franchise. Found in my sister's toolkit. No idea what they are for. The parts are numbered and they don't fit together. These look like windshield wiper adapter clips. Not all wiper blades fit all cars directly. Different car manufacturers use different styles of connectors on their wiper arms, like J-hook, pin type, or bayonet. When you buy a new set of universal replacement wiper blades, they often come with a variety of these small plastic adapters. The user selects the adapter that matches their vehicle's wiper arm, clips it onto the new wiper blade, and then attaches the whole assembly. These are the leftover unused adapters from a wiper blade replacement. What is this thing in my in-law's kitchen? That is a Danish dough whisk, also known as a broadpisker. It is a traditional Scandinavian kitchen tool used for mixing bread doughs and heavy batters. Its unique design, with its open loops of sturdy wire, is very efficient. It allows the user to mix wet and dry ingredients together quickly and thoroughly with less effort than a spoon, and the dough doesn't get stuck in the whisk as it would in a balloon whisk. It's a very effective and increasingly popular tool for artisan bread bakers. Mouse Death House. I'm interested in this 1940s built house, but this thing gives me pause. It doesn't look like the normal mouse traps you see outside of restaurants. What else could it be? This actually looks like some kind of junction box for something, typically poured into concrete or buried in the grass. Specifically, it's very likely an irrigation valve box. In an automatic sprinkler system, the electronic solenoid valves that control the flow of water to the different sprinkler zones are often housed together in an underground box like this one. The lid provides access for maintenance and repairs. It is a very common component of a lawn irrigation system, not a pest control device. Found in a junk drawer, these are two cap-like things. They are about 1 inches in diameter. The white plastic pieces screwed in do not move. Can we throw them out? They are caps for a hollow tube, often seen on the legs of walkers or folding stools. The main cap part would fit into the open end of a metal tube. The white plastic wings on the inside would slide inside the tube and then expand, making the caps hard to pull out again. Their purpose is to provide a smooth, non-scratching foot for the piece of furniture and to keep dirt out of the hollow tube. Before you throw them out, check to see if any of your walkers or folding chairs are missing their feet. Found in a box of mending yarn, this is approximately 10 centimeter. It's an old sewing tool. It should unscrew at the bottom. This looks like a vintage all-in-one sewing kit or housewife, an old term for a portable sewing kit. The outer case, shaped like a thimble or a barrel, would unscrew. Inside, it would contain a small spool for thread, and the central part would often be a needle case for storing sewing needles. The commenter notes it could have belonged to a WWI soldier, as these compact, self-contained sewing kits were a common personal item for soldiers to carry for repairing their own uniforms in the field. This is an unknown signature on a resistal cowboy hat. It was found at a father's house, who was a country radio DJ in Lubbock and a rock DJ in Austin. Thinking it might be a musician. Looks like Barry Switzer, doesn't it? Barry Switzer was a legendary American football coach. He was the head coach of the University of Oklahoma for 16 seasons, winning 3 national championships, and then went on to coach the Dallas Cowboys, leading them to a victory in Super Bowl XXX. Given the hat's location in Texas, home of the Cowboys, and his fame, it is very likely the signature of the famous football coach. This water fountain is in almost every toilet I've seen in Istanbul. The one at the airport had water coming out of it continuously. What's the purpose? It's a bidet to wash your ass. This small nozzle, integrated into the back of the toilet bowl, is a bidet function. It sprays a stream of water for personal cleansing after using the toilet, as an alternative to or in addition to using toilet paper. It is a very common feature on toilets throughout Turkey, the Middle East, and many other parts of the world. There should be a small knob or a button on the side of the toilet that is used to turn the water on and to control the pressure. What are these? They are alongside the tracks at every station. Is that an adjustable slider? Perhaps something to do with rail widths or maintenance? This is a railway datum plate. It is a fixed survey marker used by railway engineers. It provides a precise reference point for both the horizontal position, alignment, and the vertical position, height or cant, of the track. All maintenance and construction work on the track is measured relative to these fixed datum plates to ensure the track geometry is maintained to exact specifications, which is critical for the safe operation of trains. The slider might be part of the measuring equipment, not the plate itself. What British sweet is Morph eating in this short? They look like licorice candy canes but appear to be sugar-coated. They look like rhubarb and custards. This is a very classic and beloved type of hard-boiled candy in the UK. They are known for their distinctive pink, rhubarb, and yellow, custard colors, and their sweet and slightly tart flavor combination. They often have a slightly sour, sugary coating. They come in various shapes, but the striped stick-like shape is a common one. It's a nostalgic sweet that Morph, a classic British claymation character, would certainly enjoy. There is a switch under my sink. It seems to have a pipe with heat plates all along it. What is it? Any chance it has something to do with the dishwasher not working? This looks like a baseboard heater or radiator. Specifically, it's a hydronic, hot water baseboard heater. The pipe carries hot water from the building's boiler, and the thin metal plates are fins, which provide a large surface area to transfer the heat from the pipe into the air, warming the room. It is often located under a sink in a kitchen or bathroom to provide heat in that space. The switch would be to turn on a small fan to help circulate the air or to control the flow of water. It is unrelated to your dishwasher not working. Found this in wood. I'm from Poland. On a hike through the woods, I found hundreds of them on the ground. They are soft and have a yellow, scentless fluid inside. These are paintball pellets. They are used in the recreational sport of paintball, where players shoot each other with air-powered guns that fire these gelatin-shelled, paint-filled projectiles. When a paintball hits a target, the thin gelatin shell breaks, leaving a splatter of brightly colored, non-toxic paint. Finding hundreds of them in the woods is a sure sign that the area is used for paintball games, either at an official field or just for informal war games between friends. I ran into this weird page full of text and random links. One of the pages said, test. What is this page? The link is to test.cocon.se. The test subdomain is the key. This is a development or testing environment for a website or a web application. Web developers use these non-public sites to build and test new features before they are deployed to the live public website. The random numbers and text are likely just placeholder or test data that is being used to check the functionality of the application. As the commenter notes, it's not really for public view, and it's best to just leave it alone. This weird substance was found on the grass in the UK. It seems to have appeared overnight. Any ideas what it is? I think it's a kind of slime mold, specifically Mucolagocrustacea, which is commonly known as dog-sick slime mold due to its unfortunate resemblance to dog vomit. A slime mold is not a fungus or a plant, but a fascinating organism that can move and aggregate. It feeds on bacteria and microorganisms in the lawn. Its sudden appearance, often after a period of rain, is very characteristic as the organism moves to the surface to produce its spores. While it may look alarming, it is harmless to the lawn, pets, and people. Appeared on a table and has been sitting there for a month with no question. What is it? This is a protective plate guard for a GHD Platinum Plus hair straightener. GHD is a very popular brand of high-end hairstyling tools. This plastic cover is designed to be clipped over the hot ceramic plates of the straightener immediately after use. This allows you to store the straightener away safely while it is still cooling down, protecting your countertops from heat damage and protecting the delicate plates of the straightener itself from being scratched. What is this in my hotel room? It is separate from the aircon, and there are no operating instructions. I just turned it on to see if it did anything. This is a Sangamo Power Saver Plus 2-hour electronic boost timer. It is a timer switch, often used to control a heating element. In a hotel room, it is most likely the controller for the heated towel rail in the bathroom. By pressing the button, you boost the heater, turning it on for a set period of time, e.g. 2 hours, after which it will automatically turn off to save energy. This allows guests to have a warm towel after their shower without the heater being on all the time. This free-spinning slot covers an exterior door keyhole. A locksmith installed a new handle, but the finder's partner didn't ask what this was. Is it a security feature? Yes, it's an anti-drill plate. It is a security feature designed to make it harder for a burglar to drill out your lock. The lock's cylinder is a vulnerable point. This hardened steel plate, which is designed to spin freely, is installed over the lock cylinder. If a burglar tries to drill the lock, their drill bit will just spin the plate without being able to gain purchase and cut into the lock mechanism itself, thus frustrating the attack. It is a simple but effective security upgrade. Found on the riverbank. What's in this jar that I saw washed up? There was no writing on the jar. It could fit in the palm of your hand. Google says it's some sort of herb, but to me, it looks like rocks. This looks like instant coffee. The small, irregular, dark brown granules are very characteristic of freeze-dried instant coffee crystals. If the jar was sealed and some moisture got in, the coffee could have clumped together, making it look a bit like rocks. The fact that the water inside the jar is not very murky also suggests it's something that dissolves slowly, like instant coffee, rather than a loose herb. It's likely a jar of instant coffee that was lost by a camper or a fisherman. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.